23 of September 2023. Today has been 14 p.m. meditation, and I thought that today I reflect a little bit about what Mas has been saying detox. And as the selfie mode of my mobile is broken, so I'm not sure what will be here in the clip. One of the 18 days for me where I didn't experience this kind of like tears coming out, this kind of very shaky feeling that I used to feel, and what I discovered later that was detox, and what helped me through, what helped me to release these patterns was, for example, when John told me just to observe when I read others people stories in XI family in Telegram. So when I shared mine, for example, when I named what was happening with me, so that kept me going, and I didn't want to swallow down or like bury these feelings or these patterns, because when I started in May 2022 with Mas, then it turned out that I had done it before, and this time I think that it was in 12th day. Suddenly I started to have again this kind of bad feeling. What I mean about it, like does my life has a meaning, or maybe it doesn't work, maybe this everything is about my imagination, maybe I will never make it, maybe I will be always this kind of person whose time from time has this kind of very strange bad feeling. So then I already knew that this is one of the ways how the layers are falling off, and I took very good care of myself. Here, PM meditation is 5:30 in the morning, so this has been helping me through, because maybe, I don't know, but maybe otherwise I would have stayed in the bed, because in my case it appears, one of the ways how this bad feeling appears is that I'm so tired that I'm not able to come out of the bed, and I try to explain why it is so tricky for me. 2016, I was told by the doctors that something that I had with my earth is something that in Western terms wouldn't be possible to get well of. Then I went to Teaching School of Estonia, when Sven Konga, my teacher and therapist, started to treat me with moxa, acupuncture, and my aim was to let go everything that is not me, to be who I'm supposed to be, to discover it, because I found out that I actually never had been like human being, let's say. Then I started to journal, and with the help of Sven I started to understand that the life that I had was not normal. And one of the patterns that came out was that I didn't know how to have a rest, and I tried to explain it. So when I grew up in the family where, when I was 6 years old, I had a newborn baby, my sister. Then 1 year later, another brother, and I already had 2 brothers, one older, one younger. And when I was 14, I had another sister. So one part of my life was taking care of them. This was my responsibility. When they got ill, I was accused that, again, you have done something that they are ill. And I was always told that I'm grown up. You are so old. You're the oldest one. How is this possible that you are not able even to do this, like the littlest, tiniest thing? And as much as I remember myself, I grew up in constant fight between my parents. We lived in the house of my grandmother, but it was Soviet time, so officially it belonged to the state. I was not allowed to pick up any berry from the garden. My grandma stood in the garden and told that this is my land. Nobody touches here anything. So basically you live in the home. What is not your home? You are constantly reminded it. That every time you may be thrown out, what my grandmother also did when my parents were not at home. And she just threw me out, closed the door, and I had two options: or to beg her that I could come in and to admit everything that he accused me, but I had not done, or to stay outside. And when my parents came back, I don't remember exactly what it was, but at least I remember that they never believed me. And I started somehow to swallow it down, or as Mas says, that to create another layer around me. But this pain stayed inside of me. And I need to also tell here that it had positive part, because I was in the nature, and the nature became my home. I was a whole being there, but I couldn't connect these two things, that why am I not able to bring this good feeling what I'm having around the nature in this ambient where I'm together with the people. And the second thing that was in my childhood was that when I ate on the table, I was constantly asked that, what have you done today that you have right to sit here and eat? And I know that something was inside of me, some kind of pattern, that I was born in this place, that I experienced all that was around me on this way. I knew it already when I was a child, and that has been also one of the reasons I haven't spoken about my childhood or about my life, because when we have relationships between other human beings, we are constantly reflecting back, and what one person is experiencing, maybe it has nothing to do with another one. And XI has given me these tools how to change myself in this way, that or this situation disappears, this situation changes completely, or I will leave the situation. So this has been huge change. And as I was told always, that I'm the laziest person in the world. So I never understood that actually I didn't have any rest, because I was not allowed to draw, to play, to paint. And what I discovered when I started to go to the treatment was that everything that I had thought that was having a rest and being lazy actually was also work. Let's say cleaning my house, studying, that the resting is something different. So this is something I'm still learning. And the reason why I'm telling here it is about this detox is that when I started to do this mass work again, I started to feel very tired. So tired that I'm not able to come out of the bed, and I didn't know, is it something that I should experience and should I stay in the bed, or should I come out of the bed? But then I remember just that if I would have stayed into the bed when I was very, very ill, then probably I would have left this body for a long time ago. That my body is not the boss of me. What my body is experiencing are probably some kind of interpretations of mine, or some kind of old layers. And when I go to have a walk, when I make spatial reference in tree and my hand, the sky and my head, or the sound is coming from the back, the sea is on the left. So then I start to breathe deeply, and I'm back in my body. And I've been doing Qigong for 24, 25 years. And when I started with XI, it has real meaning for me, because before that I was actually not in my body. And the reason that I understand now was that you start to breathe deeply, your inner being starts to shine out, and it means that everything what is called garbage or what is not me starts to come out as well. And but what I interpreted it was that when I breathe too deeply, or let's say I think that I created another identity that was making Qigong and me, myself, was not there because I was afraid that I'm doing something wrong, that this bad feeling is coming. So XI has given me this tool that when I feel this bad feeling, I just observe it. I breathe, I do spatial referencing with this feeling, and this time when I experienced it, I was already a little bit like happy that, oh, that means that another layers are coming out or leaving me. And I had between the break days this kind of even, I would say, like what I would have called like sadness. And then I thought to myself, oh, this is just letting go something that doesn't serve you anymore. And so the reason why I'm telling it here is because oftenly I think that people stop there because this feeling is so real. It is really this kind of like your body is actually not your body anymore. You are not able to raise your hand. Like the body somehow doesn't obey you. And in my case, I already knew that I have experienced it for a long time ago. And the only thing that I should do is to breathe deeply, to spatial reference. And what happened after that was that now I suddenly feel good. I have this knowledge that doesn't matter what happens. My inner self takes care of everything, and I feel such a joy everywhere when I am. Everything is perfect, and now somehow I feel and see myself that, let's say that in the summer I felt that I'm shining from inside out, but now I see myself from this broader perspective, and I'm seeing myself here. So if this video helps at least one person, it has made this work, and very thankful for everybody. Everything serves. This is what I want to say, that all this Neijing school helped prepare me for that. Everything that I have studied, it has deeper meaning. So XI is a tool. It's not replacing nothing else. And isn't that also good that now before the thunderstorm the sun came out?